Hello and welcome to Johnny English. So as you can see, I'm not in the forest, I'm not in the meadow, I'm actually at home, taking a bit of time between lessons just to jump on the computer, on my phone, and talk about something that I've been thinking about the last couple of days. And I know I've spoken about this before, but I think it's worth covering again, because what I've noticed the last couple of days in my lessons is how often learners of English use too many words to describe what it is that they want to talk about. It could be an action they're describing, it could be a set of circumstances or preferences. It doesn't matter what it is they're talking about. It's this idea of using too many words because they want to be sure they haven't missed anything out, and they want to be sure that they've been accurate in what they say. But in English, we're very often much more efficient in how we describe things and how we talk, and a lot of things that we say are assumed that the listener will know what we're talking about, or they will jump to the conclusion that they think they know what we're talking about. And very often that's true, because context tells us what's necessary. We don't need all the words to say what it is that we're speaking of. And let me illustrate it, because it might sound a little bit confusing. So I might ask somebody what they're doing at the weekend, and a Polish listener, a Polish learner would say, I like to ride my bike at the weekend, or I like to ride a bike at the weekend. Now an English person would probably more likely say, I like to go for a ride at the weekend. The idea that it's a bike is not necessary, because it's assumed that you'll be riding a bike unless you tell me otherwise. If you tell me I like to horse ride, or I like to ride horses, so I'm going at the weekend, then that's different, because you've told me. Because you would then, and the reason you've told me is because you would assume, if you just said I like to ride, then, or I like going for a ride, you would assume that I'm thinking bike. So it's then your responsibility to tell me that you're not talking about a bike, you're talking about a horse. But this happens very often. I will hear people say to me, when I finish my work, well, it's obviously your work that you'll be finishing. It's not my work, because it's your work. It's nothing to do with me. So we would just say in English, when I finish work, not my work. That's not necessary. It's an extra word, extra language that's not efficient. And the other one I know I've spoken about before is about driving my car. When do you like to listen to music? When I'm driving my car. Why my car? We don't need it. Just when I'm driving. I will assume, when you say when I'm driving, I will assume you're talking about a car. If you're not talking about a car, it's your responsibility to tell me that it's not a car that we're talking about, because the assumption for the majority of people will be that you're talking about driving a car. So this kind of efficient use of language, this assumption that everybody knows what is being spoken of, makes English quite a compact language. It makes it very, what word am I looking for? A shorter way of describing what it is that we want to say. And if you can get your head around that, if you can understand that, then your comprehension will be better, your speech will move forward, and altogether English will improve. So thanks for watching. Please tune in next week for another video.